because see, we coming off the BBL conversation. Right. We're coming off how you are not interested in BBL whatsoever. And I don't know if the sister has what.
I've never seen her that way. Tonics.
Right. But again, I'm telling you that the circumstances are the circumstances, unknown or known, right? And so by you being someone who is that strong about BBLs, right? I asked you about Suki, and I'm just telling you how we kind of got to her anyway, because I don't want it to seem like it's just.
I never asked.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Right. Okay.
I don't think it's my place.
Right. Yeah. Now, but you've heard some of the things she's said about you, right?
Yes.
All right. So meeting someone with a BBL that said some of those things about you, meaning that she finds you attractive, she, certain things that she. So I'm saying the meetup. I mean, help me understand what's going on there.
The meetups are professional and platonic.
With a woman that calls you attractive with a BBL.
Professional and platonic.
Okay, shout out. I'll leave it at that. Shout out to Suki.
Shout out to
With do you know Sexy Red? Familiar with Sexy Red?
I've seen her recently. I never heard of her before.
You familiar with her content?
I've heard the kind of, I've never heard her rap though. I haven't seen a video.
That's some of the content, and I got her coming on soon, so I don't want to,
right.
slander her at all. But it's just, I was having that conversation about female rap and how, in my opinion, they're kind of mimicking what they saw the men do in gangster rap.
I agree with you.
I don't think that they necessarily created this path. Oftentimes, I see them promote a lifestyle that they don't even adopt.
Yes.
And it's dangerous, but it's dangerous the same way the men done it. And I believe the men really led those women into creating that kind of content.
I totally agree with you. But the men were never held accountable for it.
Right.
The women are being held. It's the double standard.
Right. And the women, again, sometimes they get with these guys, right? And it's like, and this is why I try to give grace on the content, but I know it's effective in regards to it's programming minds. I know that, but I try to sometimes, because I always try to put myself in someone's shoes like I did with Dion. It's like, see out of their lens, right? See out of a young girl like Sexy Red with 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, they both in jail, and I know how to rap. And I start rapping like this, and it started going. Do I turn that off when I have nothing to fall back on? Like, how many people will actually, at 24 years old, start getting 100,000 a show, 60,000 a show, and just turn that off? Even if I know I'm not necessarily adopting that lifestyle, but it's effective for the family. And I think so many of us live in that place. You do. We all, that's why I try to give grace, right? I don't exempt anyone, but I try to understand the route they're taking. That's why when I look at a Dion, it's like, not a finished product. I think that we're on a journey, and Colorado is just on that list of getting where I'm going. And the same with Sexy Red. It's like you get in that position, turn this on, and it works. I got children. What do I do? What would you say to a young girl that's rapping that kind of content? How does she get out of that?
I don't think my message would be to the young girl rapping the content. I think my message would be to the Black community that gave rise to the circumstances that put her in a position where she had to sing that content. I think one of the things we often miss when we talk about accountability, responsibility, is that we fail to recognize that everything we do takes place within a culture. It takes place within a community. And too often, because we are a disorganized, selfish group of people, we like to make individuals the scapegoat for systemic problems. You see that? Whether it's Sexy Red, whether it's Sister Sukihana, whether it's the gangster rapper, everything takes place within a cultural context, right? So what situation was she born in? What situation were her parents born in? What did the Black church do for her mother? What did the Black politicians do for her mother? What did the Black community organizers do for her mother?
What can they do?
Well, number one, if it wasn't for the economic desperation, a lot of our young people will be making better decisions.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. Yeah. It's like, this thing working.
Yeah. And she should have never had to go there. The reason she had to go there is she belongs to a community, the Black community, that does not feel the need to use its disposable income to create financial opportunities for his young people. Go to the streets right now. Our young people are terrorizing our community. And it's our fault because we have not created any opportunities for them. You let me go to a school that miseducate me. I get special educated. I get medicated. I get juvenile adjudicated. I get incarcerated, right? I get gang initiated, right? I get raped. I get molested. I got put out on the street by my mom, whatever the case may be. And now all that pain that the community allowed me to feel, I'm going to give it back to the community. And now you got 11-year-olds robbing 84-year-olds at the ATM. That video that came out last week, it made me want to cry. He looked like he was 9 years old, robbing someone old enough to be his great-grandmother. But when we allow our children to be raised by social media, when we allow our children to be raised by the television and not raising them ourselves, I mean, think about it. If you're a black child in Nashville, you're a black child in Chattanooga, you're a black child in Knoxville, Memphis, where can you go if you really need an adult to spend some time with you? There's nowhere to go. You can go to church, but you got to swallow their doctrine before they value you first. Y'all see how that works? You're not important in this church until you swallow this doctrine. So where can a black child go in America if they need an adult to spend some time with them? You see that? But the pimp will spend some time with me. The drug dealer spend some time with me. They're going to use me and exploit me, but they're going to spend some time with me. We have turned our backs on our children. We have not raised them. We have not nurtured them. And now the black community is collecting the karmic debt that has come from our neglect of our children. Schools and jobs. Build our own schools for our children and create jobs for them. If we never do those two things, we never get our young people back.
Watch the full video on It's Up There podcast YouTube and exclusives on Patreon. Get there now.